Hi, this is Saucy J here, back with another Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13, episode 18 review. We made it, you guys. This is the episode called "The Wig That Stole Christmas," or not. It definitely destroyed Friendmas. We'll get into that later. But we made it, you guys. This is the finale. I did come on as far as watching it. I think it was episode 9, because I don't know. It seems this season has been really boring. But before we get into all that, hi, welcome back. If you've been here before, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by, and hello. And just to get out some administrative stuff, if you could please do me do me a favor, do 3 things for me. It's free. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button that will, notify you of any new content I put up. And most importantly, hit the thumbs up button. That gets the algorithm going. YouTube will shoot me out there the more likes I get. And that will expose me to more people, and hopefully they have the same interests as me, which is all things reality, especially the Real Housewives of Bravo. I love all of them, or most of them, I should say. Some I've fallen off, and some I haven't been able to get into, like the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but I hear that's really heating up, so maybe I'll start watching it. But coming up is the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is coming up. That season, the trailer looks really, really good. And, we're going to see a different Erica, maybe a real Erica, because she's been a bully since she's come on. And the girls of summer are back. The Real Housewives of Potomac. And that trailer was something else. So let's, get ready for the summer. It looks like it's going to be really interesting. But now, and before I get into the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I just wanted to give an update about the Earth, Wind, and Fire and Isley Brother Versus show. It was really popular. It got over 5 million views. So I think that was the most that any of the verses had. So that's like really great. So Steve Harvey was very excited about it, very happy about it. He's thinking of doing a 10-city tour with Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers. So that seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully that will happen. I mean, he was going crazy because it was so popular, it got 5 million views. So Ron Isley was like, let's do it with the Kings of Comedy, So the Kings of Comedy, Earth, Wind, and Fire, the Isley Brothers, they even threw out names like Frankie, Beverly, and Mays, and the OJs, and Charlie Wilson. So that seemed like it'd be a really, really, really great show. So maybe they could do it something like a Coachella or like the old days, the Milwaukee Jazz Fest or Cincinnati, festival. But he's going to take it on the road. That's what he says. That's what he hopes to do. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know if it's going to be this summer, but he said he wants to do it. So that'll be really interesting. Okay, so without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, episode 18. And the episode is called "The Wig That Stole Christmas," because you'll see. We'll get into it. So we start off with, I'm gonna have to look at my notes. We start off with, this is really great. Kandi gets recognized in the city of South Fulton, Georgia. She gets her own day. So Kandi Burr's Tucker Day is Friday, December 18th, 2021. So that was nice. All of her family showed up, and she was awarded by the city her own day because of her business acumen and the stuff that she does for the community. Kandi is a real powerhouse. She employs thousands of people. She has created millionaires. So she's really doing it, and it's good to see. And then next up, they go to Cynthia's house, and Cynthia and Mike Hill are talking about, finding another house in Atlanta, and making Atlanta their permanent base. Cynthia loves being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, so she's letting Bravo know that she is definitely living in the city of Atlanta and not in LA. And I just wonder how they're going to do that, because Mike Hill, he's a sportscaster, I believe. And I think he just recently got a job, well, I thought it was in Texas, but he recently got a job in sportscasting, I thought in California. So I don't know how he's going to make that work moving to Atlanta, but they were letting Bravo know that they definitely want to return for the next season. So, and I think they need to. I think it's good to see a happy married couple, and Mike is comfortable in front of the camera. So yeah, I think I would be interested in seeing Cynthia's new relationship blossom. I know a lot of people think Cynthia's boring, but not everybody. You got to have a straight man in the group. Not everybody can be the class clown, Portia, but you need the straight guy, and Cynthia is that. And I think I think it'd be interesting to see for at least one more season. Okay, and then we see Portia, and she's actually doing good. She's out there campaigning, stomping the grounds for the senators that are now in place. The Senate, I think they call him the Senator-elect, John Ossoff, and the other guy, Warnock, I think that's his name. She was stumping for them, and it happened to be her grandfather's birthday. I said I was going to look up. I know his name was Hosea Williams, but I think it was. And he was big in the movement. He really was. And he was a part of a certain group that they carried guns. They weren't exactly non-violent. I mean, they were non-violent, but if need be, they would handle people. I forget the name of his group, but they kind of like put the strength behind Martin Luther King Jr. So, that was great to see. She did it on her grandfather's birthday, and we later find out that they won. And if you notice, we heard some bass in her voice. She didn't talk like this anymore. So Portia, we see a lot of different facets to Portia. So next up, we have Drew and her husband. I think his name is Ralph. I don't know. They're kind of a boring couple to me. But we see them with her son, Josiah, and of course this is following up that Josiah's biological father has reached out once again. He wants to build a relationship with his son, and as we can see that Josiah is really not too interested in doing that. And I think I don't know if we should be seeing this. I think there's some underlying issues, and she kind of alluded to it. Drew did that they tried to do a call thing where he would call and talk to him over the phone, but I guess Josiah's biological father didn't keep to that, and he wasn't always on time with the calls, and then it dropped off. I think his name is Ricky. I'm not really sure. I should have wrote that down. But anyway, yeah, so the little boy is not really interested. I think he's just acquiescing, for Ralph, because he seems to be really crazy about his stepfather, and Ralph is encouraging him to meet with his biological father. The only thing I found it to be a problem was they kept referring to Josiah's father to old daddy, your old dad. They need to cut that out. I don't like that. Old dad, new dad. you know, this should be really, like I would handle it as, you know, you're lucky you have two fathers, you know, you have two men that want to be in your life. So, but anyway, they go through with it. The old dad, Ricky, I think his name is, shows up late, I think like an hour late. But he's not from the area. We see that he's, I didn't know he's from LA. He's from California. So he had to fly in and actually meet with them. And who knows how, I heard traffic in the Atlanta area is crazy, even though Drew said out loud, he's only 20 minutes away. I don't know. Drew is kind of shady. I think she was throwing a little shade. And then when she met with him and talked to him for a little bit, I'm like, I didn't like that either. So anyway, and the little boy, I know he's going through something and he's only 9, but woo, you know, he is brutally honest. So hopefully they work through that. They're probably going to have to get some counseling, you know, get a counselor in there because that little boy, he's not interested. So next we go to Kenya, another cringe fest. She's meeting with her counselor and to talk about the worn out subject of Mark Daly. Anybody can see the writing is written on the wall. Is like done. It's done. It's over. It never was, really. The man really didn't like you. And basically, you're going to be paying for an expensive, beautiful, healthy baby, you know, just like Halle Berry. So you're going to have a real fight in that divorce because that man seems like he's crazy and vindictive. So anyway, she meets with the counselor and, you know, she's saying how Mark, you know, expected to just pick up where they left off. You know, they hadn't seen each other in a year. He comes, stays at her house without warning, no heads up, no asking her, is it okay if he can stay? Then he even gets in the same bed as her and they sleep together. It's just crazy. So, but he told her that he would be willing to go to counseling, but we quickly see that he's not. And come to find out, he's upset because she didn't have sex with him. And so, you know, I guess he got mad and went back to New York and had a change of heart because when she calls him, she finds out she's blocked. Her number is blocked. She can't get through. She has to get the baby's phone. Now, why does a 2-year-old have a phone? But anyway, he doesn't, the call goes to voicemail and then he texts her back to say that he's, you know, with a friend at a hospital because his friend got into a bad accident. And she's like, no, you're lying because you can't be in the hospital because due to COVID, they are not allowing any visitors, any companions in the hospital. And that's true. So I think she's finally, you know, worn out. I know I am. I mean, it's just like, girl, come on. You met the man, you got married so you can have your baby within wedlock. And, you know, I can't believe you really thought you could have a relationship with that man. He's not for you. But anyway, moving on. And she's supposed to be intelligent, but it's like, I don't know. Moving on. Now we got Cynthia planning a gathering, a Christmas gathering, calling it Friendmas, which is a good idea. I think that's fun. And she wanted to do like a grab bag where you know, or like a secret Santa, more like a secret Santa. And she wanted to put the cost threshold at $100. Everybody's like, no, you know, you can't buy anything for $100. These ladies, once again, the Real Housewives were about ladies who lunch, ladies who have money, ladies who have, you know, are successful or ambitious. And no, we don't want to see relatable. We want to see, you know, things to aspire to. Like when they first came on, it was about the money. It was about being upper class. It was about having money, driving fancy cars, wearing expensive clothes. It was that. So Cynthia, who's always been cheap, I mean, for someone to have been a top model and wore those clothes, you know, was on the runway in New York and Europe, and she's very cheap. So, yeah, 50 Cent. So after everybody clowns her about the $100, she ups it to $1,000. And, so everybody has to buy $1,000 gift. So she invites all the girls, and all the girls say they're going to come. So she's excited. So we get to the day of. Mallory comes over. Mallory is Cynthia's sister, and they're setting up. The food looks great. She even brings in these llamas that the girls can take, Christmas pictures with. And on the day of, she gets a call from Marlo. Marlo saying she can't come, on the day of, but she's going to send her assistant over with her gift. She calls Toya. Toya is like, you know what? I thought about it. I don't want to go because I don't feel like arguing with Drew. I just want to avoid any confrontation with her. So I'm not going to come now. So now Cynthia feels like nobody's coming, this is going to be horrible. But eventually the other women show up. Candy came. She gave it a stamp of approval because of all the food. We know Candy likes to eat. And then Kenya came, Shamia came, and, they're all taking pictures with the llamas and everything. And then they go in, and we were missing, I think, 2 people, which is Portia and Drew. And we find out they don't come until I think 3 hours later, 2 or 3 hours. That's crazy. So anyway, the girls went ahead, the ones that were there went ahead and started eating. And, because it was kind of like, they're not coming, they haven't made it, let's just start. So finally, Portia and Drew come, and then they had already drawn numbers to see, because as it turns out, they were going to do it as a white elephant. Instead of a Secret Santa, you just do a white elephant, where it's kind of like musical chairs for gifts. So you pick a number. So like number 1 can pick any gift, but the hazard is that, if somebody, so number 2 picks a gift or decides, you know what, I don't want to pick a gift. I like your gift. So then 1 has to pick again and get something, and so on. So then the next person, number 3, could decide, you know what, I like what number 1 got, and 1 will have to pick again, or so on. Or you could keep your gift, but either you don't want to be number 1. Yeah, you don't want to be number 1, or maybe even number 8. Because you might get stuck with a bad gift. So the gifts look pretty good. Portia, shades, both Portia, looks like Portia, Kenya, and Candy, kind of chuckle at the gift that Cynthia bought, which Portia picked. And so Kenya was like, yeah, that's because you were late. That's why you get that gift. So she should have held her tongue on that, because you'll find out why in the next seconds. And because as it turns out, it was a Tiffany gift, and it was a necklace and a bracelet and like maybe 2. So Portia's like, oh, I don't wear necklaces, and the girls were shading it because it was Tiffany. It wasn't expensive enough, I don't know, I'd be happy to get something from Tiffany, but I guess, on their level, you don't want Tiffany. Or at least if you do get Tiffany, you want the real Tiffany, the real stuff, not what Cynthia bought, which was like a couple of bracelets and a necklace. And so, and me, if I was Portia, I'd have been like, okay, I'm giving this to PJ. So, Portia's like, nah, I don't wear necklaces. So Bravo cues the tape where you see her wearing necklaces, but Tiffany's is not good. And, so after that, I think Shamia picks a gift, picks what Candy brought. Of course, it's the latest and greatest iPhone, and she was very happy about that. Then Drew picked what Portia brought, and it turned out to be Baccarat Rouge perfume, which is something that I would love to have. I've been looking at that myself. And so, it was a mini Gucci purse, and that all added up to over 1,000. And let's see, I can't remember everybody's, but and then Kenya bought some diamond clusters. Candy picked that, and Kenya said they're supposed to be worth over $5,000. And of course, Portia always having to, say something smart to Kenya, but nobody ever sees it. She goes, well, you can put a value on anything, but we know the gift was over $1,000. Those diamond earrings were over $1,000. They might not be 5,000, but they definitely over $1,000. So at first I didn't know if Candy liked it or not, but she ended up saying, oh no, I like it. And but I guess she felt like Kenya had did too much, as far as the gifts went. So Kenya's like, well, I'm a baller. I got it like that, and Candy looking at her like, yeah, right. So, so Candy, nobody took the earrings from Candy. And I think nobody took, somebody did take the Baccarat and the mini Gucci purse from Drew. I just can't remember who. Maybe it was Cynthia. No. So Marlo had sent her gift by way of her nephew and her personal assistant. So it's good to see him. He's getting taller. He's getting bigger. And it was $1,000 in cash. So that was cute, like 1,001. And the way she packaged it up was real cute. Nobody took that from Cynthia, which is great because Cynthia threw the party. So, and then Kenya took the gift from Shamia and didn't look like Shamia wanted her to have it. But anyway, she picked, because she's like, Shamia has good taste. And it turns out it was a Chanel brooch with a matching Chanel scarf. And I thought that was nice. So we get down to it. What's left is this big 3-box tree looking thing that Drew brought. And we already know Drew don't have no money. Drew is broke. She, come to her defense a little bit. She doesn't know she's going to return to next season. So I don't know. She's like, why am I spending $1,000 on these broads? I don't even know you really, and I'm not going to waste my money, especially if I'm not going to be asked to come back, for season 14. So we shouldn't expect much, and you would be right not to expect much from Drew. So, because Marlo sent a gift by way of her assistant, she had a proxy vote. So Cynthia's assistant said, okay, Marlo's behalf, I will pick a gift. So he picked Kenya's gift, which was the Chanel scarf and this Chanel brooch. So Kenya gets the last gift, which is always, sometimes a booby prize, which as it turns out this is. So she opens up the top box and she takes out this faux fur cat carrier. And she's like, oh, okay. And then Drew's like, no, look inside, pull it out. So she pulls out this and she realizes it's Drew's old wig, the one she talked about. Because, Drew is such a good Christian and she can never let bygones be bygones and be of a forgiving nature, which I thought Christians are supposed to be, especially during that time of year when you're supposed to be in atonement and giving thanks and giving praise. No, Drew missed out on that Christian memo. So Kenya, rightfully so, throws the rig to the floor like, oh, girl, okay, this is no. She's like, no, but open up the next one. And of course, Drew's gotta throw in the, turn the screw in on Kenya. It's like, because you made fun of me, you made fun of my wig, you get to have it. And, it's just like, girl, how old are you? Like, really? She's an embarrassment. She's, who thought of her coming out? I mean, at first I was thinking, okay, she might be a good addition. She was giving it to Kenya, which everybody wants. Everybody wants Kenya to be taken down. Why? I don't know. Maybe because she's confident in other ways outside of her relationships with men. So yeah, so I thought, okay, they're gonna ask her to come back. But man, is she finishing weak. It's like, you're looking crazy and not in a good way. So she's like, no, open up. So they see in it, it's a cassette. Like, a cassette? They're like, who still has cassettes? Come on, this is the 21st century. Nobody. And in the other box, she had a boom box. Like, really? Who still has one of those, So, and I have a lot of old things in my house, but I don't have neither one of those, like cassettes or the boom box. It's like, come on, I'm trying to get rid of my CDs. So anyway, So, you know, Portia being messy and going along with it sets up the boombox. They put in the tape. Come to find out, Drew's personal assistant secretly recorded Prophet Lot. Okay, I'm just gonna call him Lot, because I'm like, why is he a prophet? Like, what did he prophesize? Anyway, or pastor. I'm just gonna say Reverend Pastor. And so they secretly record Prophet Lot, and her assistant interrogates him about his views or his feelings about LaToya. It's like, really? Come on, man. Like, you know, this guy really wanted us to talk to LaToya. It's just crazy. So anyway, you know, Pastor Lot says, yeah, you know, I like her. She's awesome. She's going through what I've been through. You know, I've been through a divorce. You know, I cheated on my first wife with my baby mama, and my child is now 3 years old. He didn't marry the girl that had the baby, but he ended up, because of everything, divorced from his first wife. And, you know, so he's just really honest. He said, like, yeah, I like her. But he didn't say, oh, I want to get with her. Oh, my God, I just got to have her. And he's like, yeah, you know, and I ministered to her. And, you know, yeah. So they played it. So everybody's like, okay, you know, yeah, he likes her. So what? What's the big deal? And even if it went further beyond that, they're both adults. They're both single. Like, they can do it. And she's like, oh, no. He was still engaged. You know, she was just like a dog with a bone. Like, even Portia was like looking at her like, girl, like, really? Like, everybody's grown. You know, people can do what they want to do. But she's like, oh, it affects my character, and he was going to bless my baby. Get another minister. Your mother's a minister. It's like, really, like, man, you're reaching for straws here. It's like, it's crazy. So, you know, Candy gets ready to read her the riot act. Candy finally gets some energy, because she's been like, kind of like lackluster, you know, but Candy's my girl. I like Candy. And I think she needs to stay on the show. A lot of people are calling for her to leave. It's like, no, you know, unless they got some more interesting, because Fallon, you know, the girl they tried to bring on, her life is in shambles. That rich man has left her. And, but she says they're back together. Drew don't have nothing going on. I mean, Candy has real money, real connections. She's working. I mean, she just got the Candy Day, you know. It's like, come on. But anyway, she finally, this whole situation finally puts a battery in her back. So she starts going off on Drew, like, girl, like, what is your problem? Like, why are you so concerned? It's like, and why are you trying to say that LaToya is a hoe because the minister may like her? Like, he's a grown man. If he likes her, why aren't you talking about him? So anyway, before she could really get her good, Kenya had to say something stupid, like, you know, oh, she's an art. And Candy's like, what are you doing? But I like their relationship, because Candy was able to snap on Kenya, and Kenya was like, you know what? I'm sorry, you're right. Let me be quiet. So they really do have a friendship, and you can do that with friends. It did not be like, you know, oh, I still hate you the next day. It's just like, girl, like, look, let me do what I'm doing. So, you know, but Drew is not backing down. Even Portia's like, you know, and then after all that, Portia's like, well, girl, you know, okay, yeah, you did the gag and everything, you know, ha, ha, ha. But where's the real gift? You know, I know you went out and bought 1,000. No, that's my gift. That's my gift. And so Portia's like, you know, I'm done. I'm done with you. And, you know, and Shamia and her start having their little side conversation. So, and Candy, everybody's like done. So in comes Toya towards the end, and like, they're like, girl, you know, we've been talking about you. Your ears should have been burning. Oh, what? That, you know, I'm not going with the prophet, whatever. So LaToya once again denies that has anything to do with the prophet. And then her and Drew get into it. LaToya ends up throwing the wig at her. Then what's her name wants to fight. She's showing her Spanx. It's like, girl, it's not that serious. All she did was fling it. She didn't even you caught it. It's like, you know, it's a mess. And what could have been a really nice get together, Drew destroyed it. And it's so funny, you know, like Kenya grabs she leaves everything there, but I think she grabbed the purse, the Gucci purse, and the bottles of champagne that everybody knows Mallory didn't pay for. She got it from her sister's wine store. So it's kind of like, come on, you guys, Cynthia buys a little cheap gift from Tiffany's, and her sister just takes some wine out of the stock from the Bailey wine cellar. It's like, come on, you guys, you don't have $1,000, really? How long have you been on this show? How much money, like Cynthia, you couldn't have given your sister $1,000 to go buy a decent gift? It's like, really, man. So that's that. That's the end. We get a little summary of what the girls got next. Kenya finally gets a clue. She's divorcing Mark, and her and Brooklyn are headed to Paris. Drew is Drew is talking about she's decorating her new house. Come to find out, the people that helped them clear out the mold, I guess they had a mold issue or a water issue. Allegedly, they have slapped a $30,000 lien against her new house that is, I think, up for sale, allegedly. You know, that's on the blog. So we know she don't have no money. And she was so worried about Kenya's IMDb. She should be worried about her own, because she did not get on The Shy, which is Candy's show. Candy will be returning for another season with the show called The Shy, which is a Chicago-based show, an urban show about Black people in Chicago. And let's see, Cynthia and Mike Hill plan to make the move to Atlanta permanent. You know, I said permanent, that's what I said before. And LaToya, who knows what she's doing. So, it's like, whoo, I'm glad this is over. You know, I think the production team really do not like these ladies. They have done Real Housewives of Atlanta dirty this year. They're definitely going to have to get a new cast, but I don't think they should get rid of everybody. And I'm not sure they should bring back Phaedra. I don't think criminal behavior like that should be rewarded. What she did to Candy, I don't think she should be invited back. And if they do invite her back, please bring on Apollo with his new girl. I would love to see that dynamic. And if you bring back Apollo, you might have to bring back Kenya, because we know Apollo is still crazy about Kenya. So yeah, I can't wait for next season to see how it shakes out. Hopefully they will correct everything. And next up is the reunion. Can't wait. See you guys. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.